Now out here pacing around is Owlin, who, if you talk to him, will give you a free shield. It's dangerous to go along. Take this. The shields have a health meter in this game, and they don't heal unless you repair them. So a shield, you can carry multiple shields, I don't know why you would. Hold down minus, and then move your Wii remote around, and just let go when you're hovering over it. Now you got a shield. To use the shield, you can shield bash by shaking your nunchuck, or you just keep it in front of you. But if your shield takes a hit when you don't shield bash, then your little shield meter below your heart's there. Ugh. No one asked. If you don't, your shield will get damaged, and you have to use a healing potion. I think it's called a revitalizing potion. And this is the segue into changing the appearance. So if you go back into your menu screen, the gear screen they call it, you can see I've collected 1 monster claw and 1 jelly blob. These are the insects you can collect. These are in-game items that you will get throughout the game. And then you can see what you have here. Shut up. Fine. You can see what you've had here when you get stuff to put there. These are your items. You get earrings and claws, digging claws, different parts of the Song of the Goddess, and that's the Stone of Trials, the other eye for that bird statue we passed earlier. Your current sword and how many heart pieces you have in your current wallet. Now you can change your interface. So standard is the one we've been using. Light only has the buttons on it. But if you're using like a plasma screen, you can burn into the screen easily, which you could do with the hearts and stuff anyway. I had to get a specific LCD screen, so I would burn in playing my Zelda games with the heads-up displays. Or I prefer it on the Pro setting, which has none of that stuff listed. Go into the Bazaar here for the first time, and you can get your first little bottle. This guy, the Great Sparrow, will stop you. Sparrow with a T. S-P-A-R-R-O-T. Sparrow isn't a bird, and plus I guess he's French. Big fat guy with a tiny mustache. Piercing eyes, kind of like in, what was that one? Twilight Princess. He will give you hints and tips and stuff. This guy is somewhat of a Jewish stereotype. He's even got like an abacus hat. Abacus beads. I don't know, something about it. I don't think he's meant to be, you know, discriminatory stereotype, but eh. You can buy stuff from him. I don't have a slingshot, an arrow, or a bomb bag, so I can't buy any of this. But you could buy a shield, but I've already got one. This is Beatrice, the item check girl. When you get more items than you can fit in your adventure pouch, she'll keep it. She's supposed to be the prettiest girl on Skyloft. She's the 3rd prettiest at best. This is Gondo, named after Condor. He's a scrap shop. He takes scraps and upgrades your equipment. What we want is the potion shop. Talk to Love and Birdie here. This is Love, L-U-V. And her husband, on the right side of the screen there, is Bertie, B-E-R-T-I-E. Together they are a lovebirdy, like a lovebird. They run this shop together. This is where you buy potions. Most of them are not available at the start of the game. Stamina potion's very useful, but it doesn't unlock until you can access the area where you can get the bugs that go into making the stamina potion. So if you want, you can buy an item from her, buy a potion. I think you can only get the health potion, the red one. But make sure you save at least 30 rupees, because we are going to upgrade over here at Gondo's Scrap Shop. Oh yeah! Wait, no we're not yet. Need amber relics. He will also repair your shield if you don't have a revitalizing potion. I need 2 Ember Relics. I got my 1 Monster Claw and my 1 Jelly Blob, but I need 2 Ember Relics, which you can only find on the surface. Okay, now you've got a sword and a shield and a bottle. These guys will give you hints and rumors. This is Crew, C-R-O-O, as in a crow. You can sleep till night if you have to do a night task. Can't fly anywhere at night. Dovos, that's this guy's name. As in a dove, D-O-V-O-S. Dovos, maybe. Yeah. They had an extra button on the Wii Remote, so they just make it the help button. And there's Beetle's airship, which spawns in that spot every time you exit the Bazaar. You can't access it until you can ring that bell. And I guess throwing a rock at the bell is just unheard of. Gully here will tell you about that. If you go over and talk to Jackamar... Shut up. I'm not talking to you. You can find out A, that you can climb up this light tower, and B, that he's afraid of heights. Hey! You need to climb that tower later in the game. What? So if you walk off this sledge, you will get saved by a knight. Can't call your Loftwing. You have to actually dash off the edge, and this is the Blue Knight. He's got a blue helmet on his Loftwing. He's kind of like a scruffy pothead douchebag. I don't like this guy. Yeah, get a haircut, you hippie. But if you run, then you actually jump and can summon your Loftwing. Okay, only like a few more tutorial steps to go, and then you actually get to play. And the game doesn't lead you around by the nose. If you open the map out here, so there's a swirling vortex here. It's a thunderhead. You can't get to it till later. But you can go to any of these islands, but there's no island you really need to go to. Most of these are just small asteroids. This is Pumpkin Landing. That's your portal. 2 more portals open up. In fact, if you go look at it, you can see where the portals would go. But you know what? I'm not going to. Hey, I just opened the map. I just closed that. You better close that map right now, Fi. Fine, I will. I guess they found it hard to find your way around these areas. They made things kind of bigger and easier to navigate. If you want to dive off your Loftwing, press C down again. So you actually revisit all of the same locations later in the game. You have to go to everything twice. There's Farron Woods, Elden Volcano, and Lanayru Desert. And also there's a cloud cover over everything. So that's accurate at least. If you don't whip out your sailcloth to slow your landing, which would be impossible to hang on to because the physics is just more than any human hand can grip, the game will do it for you. Ooh, on the surface for the first time. Hey, you shut your face. You'll speak when spoken to. You call me Master of Abuse one more time, I'm gonna behead you. See, calculations, that's fine. But when you start talking about probability, you're wrong. It's not how probability works. This is where Skyloft was culled from. Scribble that in. Kind of like that watercolor thing. Like the coloring books they had for kids. They were like painting coloring books. You'd use watercolor, but really all you'd have to do is get the page wet, and the color would bleed through from underneath. These are Deku Babas. Deku, excuse me. I used to say Deku, and then I was sure it was Deku, or Deku, as in day. But then I spoke to somebody who speaks some Japanese, and was like, no, it's Deku. It's a short E sound, just like in English. Yes! So you can Z-target or you can not Z-target. These guys will take 2 hits with this sword, and you notice there's vertical and horizontal slashes. You do a horizontal on the guy on the left, it won't do anything. It'll just bounce right off him. Do a vertical. It'll slice him in half. Hey! If you got hit, no worries, because there are hearts right down here. You'll notice the Sheikah symbol on the door back there, and the other half of the Temple of the Goddess on the ceiling. I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. Oh, see, he's Harry Potter now. Again. So this is the physical embodiment of what's left of Demise the demon. Demise was imprisoned at the bottom of this spiral with a ceiling spike. But he keeps trying to break free. And he gets closer and closer, and this is the first time he actually breaks free, and you have to stop him. Well, he almost breaks free. Because he has no real physical form. Yeah, see, there's the fire temple and the spirit temple, or the shadow temple. He has no physical form, so it's just this amorphous blob with teeth. We got... don't know what that one is. That's the fire temple. That's the... that must be the shadow temple. Oh, that's the water temple. Yeah, it was originally going to be an ice stage, so that's a snowflake. Okay. So you'll need to go... the door is locked. You'll need to go all the way to the bottom of this place. And here's the ceiling spike. You're being telepathically communicated to via Impa, who's in the temple there. Sword of the Goddess Skyward. What do you mean? Could you mean the Goddess Sword? Good thing I solved that riddle. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. Just hit this and he's such a... That was actually a diagonal slash. You can register it vertically, that's fine. You'll notice the 3 symbols on there, Din, Nehru, and Furore. Those symbols first appeared in Oracle of Seasons. They were symbols for the songs that you would play to advance time or go back in time. Or change the seasons. Oracle of Ages, I think, was the first one. They came out at the same time on the same day, but they've got different call numbers. Model numbers like ZL dash whatever dot 7 ZL1. And the other one's like 7 ZL, 8 ZL, something. GBC, Game Boy Color. So you can douse for Zelda and other items that you get through the game. Use your sword as a A dowsing rod, a divining rod, which used to be used to artificially seek water. Doesn't really work. The idea is that the riverbed's going to be the lowest place, so your stick is going to fall down and point lower. So that's how you can find water with a stick. Now this is dowsing, not dousing. To douse means to extinguish a flame. To throw water on. This is dowsing. So this is where Zelda from the future, or from the past, is sealed. You'll notice there's a door back there. It's kind of old and decrepit and cracked open just a split. Notice the bracelet Impa is wearing. That's old Impa. You're not supposed to know it's Impa until later in the game, but I don't know how that can be a secret. Ah, abuse, good. I like abuse. Behind that door is Zelda, cocooned, to help stop Imprisoned from getting out, using her power to stop his power through whatever aura or something, I don't know. She's been there for 1,000 years or whatever. They never actually say, but I'm just gonna arbitrarily guess about 1,000. Sounds right. Meanwhile, Zelda from our timeline is running through the woods with Zelda with Impa from the old timeline, from 1,000 years ago, who's traveled to the future. This is almost the last of the tutorials. If you're just gonna make me place a beacon, then I'm just about done. So when you're on the map, you can place a beacon by just pressing C. You can see I've got 0, or if you want to remove it, also press C over it. 1 beacon. You upgrade to like 5 beacons later. That just helps you find your way around, because I guess they think these maps are confusing. That's also why you need to revisit these places in the game, so that you can make more use out of the area that you know better. And I did get lost pretty well the first several times I played this. This is maybe my 20th time starting the game. I've finished it maybe a dozen times. That's kind of why I'm so bitter at all this stuff. Won't just let me play the stupid game. If you want to choose a different dowsing target or cancel it, just hold down C and look around. That amber-colored thing there is Zelda, cocooned in magic, whatever. This chest, I believe it's this chest, holds a bottle. Now you got 2 bottles. This is Revitalizing Potion. So if your shield breaks, you can repair it. And I think there's just a rupee on the other side here. Nope, just a sword. Oh, why not? Let's go ahead and scoop a fairy. I don't need it, but if you're following my advice, you might want it. Because you're probably gonna be thrown for a loop with these new controls. Okay. So remember when we first came down here and I had to put down the sailcloth so I didn't get squished? The game actually did it for me. Those are save points and places where you can warp back to the future. Not the future. Marty! Back to the sky. A little air current blows you back up to the sky, and then you can call your Loftwing. But that one was made of stone and inert right now. There's one up here that kind of activates everyone throughout the entire land. It's a special magical one. So you gotta follow the beacon that they made you place. Ooh, a bluebird! I wish I had. Bluebirds are rare. They're harder to find. If I had my bug net, you could catch a bird and get the feather, which is one of the treasures that you will need for upgrading your equipment. Alright, fly away, little birds. This is Gorko. A Goron archaeologist, I guess. These guys will block your spot, your sword with their swords. So notice I hold my sword to the left. Haha! So you have to watch how they're holding their swords. Oh! Get that. Yay! Ornamental skull. Those things are actually kind of hard to find. Glad I'm collecting treasure. I'm actually being pretty lucky. There we go. If you're stuck, I'm a big fan of a check mark. Kind of slash your sword downward, and then diagonally bottom left to top right.
Hey!
Activate all other statues, which means they didn't want you going back to the surface until you back to the sky from the surface.
Ooh.
Until you get this tutorial.
Oh. Oh.
You can examine and save. You can also do it. I do it with the control stick on the Wii Remote, but you can also do it with the control stick on the nunchuck. You can do it with the Wii Remote, but you'll notice how it goes from like the very right edge up to the sky to the middle of save. It just kind of warps over there, and it's not accurate. So the cursor moves without moving your Wii Remote, and that throws the calibration all off. Which means this is a good place to talk about recalibrating your remote. Shut up.
Oh.
If you open your menu by pressing 1, you go down here to this icon, you will calibrate your motion plus. Just hold it upside down, face down, point it at the screen. They say place it on a flat surface. I think it's better just to hold it horizontally. Point it at the middle of the screen, level with the middle of the screen, and then you'll fix that out. While I'm here, climb up this vine, and you can get a shortcut to what they call the sealed grounds. Sealed because that's where Demise was sealed. Formerly the site of the statue of the goddess. Temple of the goddess. Da-da-da-da! Don't talk to me. Beep, 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 beep. And now let's make sure that you can push a log. You can't advance through this space without pushing that log. And hey, that's where the beacon is, so I know I need to go that way, even though I can't possibly go that way, because I can't climb up these walls. But oh, good, now I figured out I can push a log. Maybe that's less annoying your first time through, I don't remember. These are bird statues that you can warp to. Or save at. Finally, let the game begin. After one short word from Fi. That's the would-be Deku Tree. I want to say Deku. I trained myself. It's Deku. It's gotta be Deku. The consensus from all the Zelda players I've talked to is The official pronunciation is whatever people will understand. I mean, don't say Zelda, it's Zelda. In Japanese, it's Zeruda. Just scribble over that with your marker. Then it'll automatically open your map for you and make you point up instead of north. You're supposed to douse for Zelda. I don't want to. I'm just gonna switch to that and then take it off. Activate this bird statue. You gotta swing across this, you can't run. This tree is glowing. If you strike the glowing portion, you get a rupee. There are these little sticky piney burr things that'll explode on you. Fair and grasshopper, take that. The way to get those piney burrs off is to do a spin slash. Okay, so if you douse, it'll say Zelda is right over here. Just clean this up. But that thing is not Zelda. Why does my dowsing say that that is Zelda? Is she hiding under the ground? And just check mark. Yay! Oh, yay, yay, yay. I keep a little tally of the treasures I've collected. This is Machi. They're all named after tea. He's a Kikwi. Or a Kikwi. I'm gonna say Kikwi. Sounds right. He gets scared and poops himself. All these Kikwi are named after teas. Machi is... Machi tea. I don't know Japanese teas very well. Was that Zelda? No, I should have chosen left. Too late. If you choose Zelda, she berates you and say, no, that's not Zelda. It only smells like Zelda. Which means Zelda must have had some contact with it. To climb these sandy slopes, see, I'll just slide back down, you have to dash. Then you can douse further to find this Kikwi. Boo! Activate this bird statue too.